Hello and welcome to Father Time, formerly Father and Son. I'm your host, Evan. Absent as always is Jer. And today I have returning guest, my brother Adam, and his friend, who is also the brother of my friend, Marshall, which I guess makes us friends. AKA Jack Black's Mini-Me.
Get out. It is. I've heard that so many times over the past, you have no idea.
Well,
If I was fatter,
it's because you like Jack Black so much too.
Yeah.
And you just
It's
embodied
literally-
the character from School of Rock.
It is not going to pick y'all up as much as me, the way y'all are saying.
yeah.
Let's just
Y'all got to lean.
Alright.
So, Marshall, what's up?
Not much, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
What warranted the name change?
Which name change?
Father and Son to Father Time, or whatever.
Because the joke is that Jer and I are father and son, but because Jer isn't doing the podcast now and for the foreseeable future, given he's in the military, then it's just father.
Really?
Yeah. How does it?
I didn't know that.
They don't listen.
That's because nobody else listens to
I'm
this
the only
podcast.
consistent listener.
Everybody's like, "Hey, Evan, can I be on your podcast?" I'm like, "Oh, sure." I never think to actually ask them, "Oh, have you listened to any of these?"
I listened to 15 minutes of the one with Sebastian, and then I listened to 5 minutes of Little Crafters Reunion.
The Little Crafters Reunion was one of my favorite ones we've done.
I think both of them got better as you listened to them longer.
I agree. And I also think that just in general, the podcast has, for the most part, gotten better as we've gone along. That said, I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this podcast in particular because I'm running out of guests. And I also have other, audio-related ideas that I'd rather explore at this point.
Like what?
So this will be in a different episode that I just recorded with Archer first. But I want to take some of the things that I've written, like my short stories and just other stuff, and I want to record audio versions of them. Because I don't think that putting them online in such a way that A, people have to pay for it, B, people don't like to read.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a very successful way to get that content out there, but I still like that content even though I haven't written a lot lately. I've been focusing on this and the videos.
You should find a way to animate it too.
Yeah.
Somehow.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
work.
it is, but that would be
I would like to animate it,
That'd be
but
really
that's
cool.
the thing though, if I could animate it, then I would just be making, short film versions of it at that point, so I don't know.
How many books have you written now, or short stories?
God, I couldn't tell you exactly. I have
Published at least.
well, I've released 3. One of them was technically a collection. But the thing is that I am not really happy with any of those as much as I could have been.
Yeah.
I got really caught up in, oh man, I can finally share, I discovered self-publishing, and how easy it is to put it just on Barnes & Noble on their website. And so I was like, oh man, I can finally share this stuff with my friends. It's going to be so awesome. And so I got caught up in putting it out there before those stories were really ready. And they were not my best work. And so I'm kind of glad in a way that they didn't take off and that not a lot of people read them. And so the versions of the old stories that have been released that I read are going to be very different. And then there's obviously going to be 5, 8, something like that, new stories that nobody has seen or read yet that I'm also excited about. But that stuff is going to come probably closer to, maybe not summer, but there's still going to be a couple more months of this podcast before I move on from it, I think.
I feel like that happens to a lot of people, probably everybody who tries to create, is that they released sort of an unfinished version of what they're making. I don't know who said it, but there's a quote that's a project is never done. It's just abandoned or whatever.
Right.
So you never you can never, I feel like you can never be 100% satisfied. You
Well,
just release what you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never going to be 100% satisfied, and I know that, but there's a difference between, I think, I don't know, just that in my mind, for me in particular, other artists are probably different, but I can look at the stuff I've already released and say, okay, there is a point that I need to actually stop working on this, and do
Right.
new things.
Right. That's why.
But as long as I'm aware of that,
Yeah.
I think it's okay that I felt at the time I need to go back and do a little bit more work on this. Because I wanted it to be better than it was.
Well, because like if whatever,
and
like,
it is now. I'm
whatever
happy with it now.
Right, like whatever you put out, whatever, like in a year or so, if you go back to it, you'll be like, oh shoot, should have put that in there, which
Well,
is why it can never be really.
Do you know
truly
that's a
finished.
real reason why? Like, there's a lot of reasons that doing a podcast and doing the Evco Productions videos was like super exciting for me, and I've grown to love it so much over the last half year, whatever it's been.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those reasons is because the instant I make a video and put it out there, boom, I'm done with it. I don't worry about it
Yeah.
anymore. And because I hate the editing process so much, I'm not.
So I can.
We're crowding around the floor again. Yeah. Because I hate the editing process so much, like it's just a necessary evil to make the videos. I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna get it out there. I'm gonna get it done. And so it's a different type of creative project. It's not one that I find myself like hung up on the details of, and it's kind of refreshing to just know that it's kind of a one and done thing. You do it and you dish it out there, and that's that. Move on to the next video. So, but how much of your music stuff do you want to discuss, if any?
I mean,
your Yukon Territory stuff, I guess,
Nah,
was
I mean,
kind of a while back. But,
Yeah, that was freshman year. I mean, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I have since kind of abandoned that whole thing just because
Really?
it's kind of just like a one-time thing. But I'm still making music, just under a different name, and like I don't know.
Have you
we're
not released any of that other
No,
music though?
no, we're actually finishing it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Do you play with other guys?
there's someone else. His name is Mason who drums for who we jam sometimes.
Okay.
But as far as recording, it's all me on the instruments, and my brother like helps me out with like mixing process and stuff.
Yeah, I see the occasional
Yeah.
clip on Snapchat or whatever of you guys
Yeah.
mixing together.
yeah.
So, how is that? So, I feel like you might take this the wrong way, and I don't want you to.
No,
But like, how has that been? Like, you make music, your brother makes music, and there was the whole, of course, Little Crafters thing, and then Charlie's also done stuff as Visionary, and so like, how has that been with the two of y'all doing music together? Is it totally like collaborative, supportive experience, or is there times where you're like, man, Charlie's just really famous as a craft, like not famous as a crafter, but like it was a school-wide phenomenon there. So like,
Yeah.
did you care about that at all, or?
honestly, you'd think that there'd be like a little bit of jealousy or some kind of competition, but there's really not.
Yeah, that's
There's
good.
like not at all. Like
good.
at least on my end, there's definitely not on his end either.
Yeah.
It's probably because like the music that we make is so different too.
Mm.
That like, yeah, I don't know. I never really felt like. I guess like my freshman year when all the seniors like just liked me because my brother. I was
Right.
kind of like.
You're like, oh, baby stubs.
Yeah, like a little bit living in the shadows, but I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't really care that much.
Yeah. That's
But
fair.
those people have graduated by now, so it's like it's fine.
Yeah.
Adam, you're quiet.
Adam said he wasn't
I'm
talkative.
letting y'all discuss the creative aspects of your lives.
What about your
Adam's not
creativity?
creative. Adam's
Yes,
just
he
like
is.
Adam's just like basketball.
He draws cool guys in physics.
I doodle like the coolest guys in my
Well,
notebooks.
okay. I will say, my favorite drawing of yours that I've seen and that I know of is that you did pretty well at drawing you and your friends
Yes.
peanut
Oh my
style.
God.
That's like
My
Charlie
favorite.
Brown style.
The
I
I've
thought that
been
was
meaning,
pretty
I've been
good.
meaning to do that again. I can do Marshall the best
it's so
because
funny.
of his head
Yeah.
shape.
he's kind of got a Charlie Brown. It's very
do
round.
his whole body too.
Yeah.
Just because he's such a rectangle.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, dude.
But what kind of cool guys do you draw in physics?
Dude, there's this one with like, I didn't draw this in physics, so I drew him in like 6th grade. He's like this little oval dude with like a cool mustache and like a little propeller hat thing and like a lollipop.
Have I seen that one?
He's got like a bow tie.
Okay.
I just draw random dudes. What did I draw in physics?
I don't know. That was an example.
I
Just
don't, draw I don't think I
any
do as much
class.
in physics.
I've over the past year, I've wanted to like do not animated shorts, but like kind of stop motion of different
Oh, yeah,
drawings, and
sure.
then do like voiceovers of them and like make it either like funny or like philosophical or something
Really?
like that. But I just don't know how to do that. I think
Yeah,
that'd be such a
super
fun.
hard, but that'd be really cool.
That'd be such a fun like collaborative effort between like me, you, like anyone else who wants to get in on it, because I mean anyone could help.
Dude, we
Like,
could make some good
you
little
could
short
anyone could
film
draw,
movies.
anyone could help write it, anyone
That's
could
that's
help
the thing. It's like
animate
it's
it.
all about who you know. Because
Yeah.
like I could like write jokes for an animated short. I could even do a voice for an animated short if I had to, but I can't do the animation because it's not. I mean, it's not even that I can't. It's just I have zero motivation, zero desire to commit to learning how to do something that technically
You just gotta
advanced.
because I agree. Like I feel like I could write for it and get a bunch of ideas.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just have to find someone who only wants to animate it.
Right. And
Which I
doesn't
don't
mind
know
doing it
anyone
for
like
free.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Like that's the real kicker.
Exactly. Like you gotta be friends with that person too. Like they
Yeah.
want to do it too.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, even I'm friends with Archer, and I still occasionally have to like give him some money for like designing, you know, my book covers and designing my quote unquote company's logo and all this stuff. Like, it's so much work for him that like I would feel guilty if I didn't give him something
course.
for it, even though we're good friends.
Yeah.
But
But if we're all working, if a bunch of people are working on it, we're all kind of putting in the same amount of effort, then it kind of evens out. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
that's the thing. But if you're hiring Archer essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
So that makes sense.
He's my like second in command of the company, basically.
Yeah. What do you What do you want to do with Evco?
I
future?
mean, everything that I want to do is what I'm doing right now, pretty much.
Really?
I think that another thing about writing was that because it's such just a solo operation, and because so many of my ideas for stories and characters don't really fit in my mind in the prose format as well as they do in the screen format. I'm just like I want to branch out, and I want to continue to do stuff, like most of all with my friends and with my brothers, and like the best thing about Evco has easily been like I'm doing something creative with like all my favorite people, you know.
Dude,
and I'll tell you this, I have good ideas by myself, but I have great ideas when I'm sitting like at lunch with Archer and Polish, and we're bouncing ideas off of one another. And especially hopefully after this spring semester's over and we come back together for summer to make more videos, we got great ideas for this summer, so hopefully it all pans out.
That's cool, man. That cool.
But I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I don't really care about like success or
Yeah.
anything, as long as I have people who are cool with putting their time into it and can help me with it, then you know I'll have a good thing going as far as I'm concerned. So,
Dude, how sick is Calvin and Hobbes?
Calvin and Hobbes is pretty
It's
sick,
pretty
dude.
underrated too. Like people don't understand.
People
like,
don't like Calvin and
I was
Hobbes.
never really.
I don't know how they
big.
don't.
Yeah, it's like
It's just the most clever little.
it's the same thing as
Yes.
like our generation, like Gen Z, like they caught on to Friends more than they did Seinfeld because either they're not smart enough to understand the humor or they are just like like it's the same thing as like when I was in like middle school and I had the like dry humor, everybody thought I was just a jerk. It's the same.
People
It's
get
the
that
same
with me
concept.
sometimes.
It's the same concept. People look at like Calvin and Hobbes versus Charlie Brown and they're like, "Ah, Charlie Brown and his friends are so sweet," and Calvin is
No,
over
they're not
here like,
though. Charlie Brown's friends are
Yeah.
complete jerks to him.
no, and
Sometimes.
that's the thing
Yeah,
though
Lucy's
is
just a-
because people's perception of Charlie Brown is based off of like the Great Pumpkin special and the
Yeah.
Christmas special.
Yeah.
If you read the comic strips, that's very true. Like
He's literally
his friends
depressed,
are,
too.
yeah,
It's sad.
it is sad.
I cannot stand Friends.
Nah,
I can't.
like I am okay with the early seasons specifically because there was a bigger focus on the same dry humor that kind of made Seinfeld successful.
Yeah.
Because by the time Friends was out, Seinfeld had been on for a few years and it was catching on, and so I'm pretty sure they were trying to mimic it to a degree. But the later seasons, especially once like Chandler married Monica and then he and Joey weren't doing stuff together because that was the best dynamic on
See,
that
like,
show.
I don't even know.
Like,
I don't even know it that well. Like I don't even know who all the characters are. But anytime I've seen an episode, it's just not funny to me.
I think it's too basic.
And
for
also laugh tracks, just I cannot.
okay,
stand.
that's one thing.
Like I
though.
turn on That 70s Show and I know that it's a great show.
Yeah.
Because everyone's told me that and whatever. But I turn
It's
it
one
on.
of my
and
favorites, honestly.
I just instantly I was like I just can't. 'Cause laugh tracks are so cringy to me.
I don't understand that though. How is a laugh track less how is a laugh track more cringy than like The Office or Parks and Rec, where there's just dead silence as Steve Carell stares into the camera?
I don't like The Office.
I don't like The Office either.
I
like
like
maybe
The
it's just
Office.
because I've watched shows since day one that have laugh tracks in them.
Well, because The Office is kind of
But-
sort of dry too. Like when like zoom
No,
into
it-
his face and he looks at the camera.
It
it's like-
is. It is.
that-
It's just it's in a different way. There's so many like awkward
yeah,
moments.
but
that,
that's like
and I feel like it also leans on like kind of some self-deprecating humor, which is not really my
Yeah.
style either.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind laugh tracks. I've heard that argument before. I thought it was kind of surprising, to be honest.
The sitcom Malcolm in the Middle is like one of my
I
favorite.
haven't watched that.
Oh my gosh, it's one of my
Agent Cody Banks.
it's one of my
I know,
favorite.
and Walter White
It's
before he was.
it's literally
in
one of
Breaking
my.
Bad.
Oh, Bryan Cranston's different subject. All right,
Yeah.
it's literally one of my favorite shows, and it's a sitcom, and there's no laugh track, there's
Mm.
no awkward silence like that kind of cues you to laugh. It's just craziness, and it's super funny like all the way through.
Yeah,
So,
I will say it
some people
depends
aren't,
on
like-
it depends on the show. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm watching Seinfeld, which is just flat out like that's my sense of humor, basically. There doesn't have to be laugh tracks. I would be laughing still. But have you ever seen like on YouTube people have made like The Big Bang Theory with no laugh
Yes.
tracks? If you aren't
Yes.
told to laugh at a joke in
You
The Big
will
Bang
not.
Theory, you will not laugh. Like it's the
yeah.
cringiest thing ever.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, Bryan Cranston
Dude, are we gonna talk
went
about
from
Breaking Bad?
went from probably we'll get into that.
Adam hasn't watched it. Normie.
That sucks. Well, he went from Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, who's just like literally the complete opposite
Yeah,
from freaking Walter White, who's like the worst human on earth.
yeah. Great performance. Great
Oh
show.
my gosh, the crawl space scene, dude. You know when he's
When
in
he's
the-
like going
when
crazy
he's
and
like
laughing. Yeah.
hysterically. Oh
I'm
my
gonna get on my phone.
no. I'm gonna try it. Like we probably shouldn't get into it because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Adam's
I
never
probably
gonna
won't.
watch
I
it.
won't watch it till I'm in high school, or I mean,
You're in high
college, like
school,
Luke.
Adam. Okay.
And Luke just went to college, and he's just in his room bored half the time.
Yeah.
That's
No,
true.
that's
That's,
exactly
that's
what
a
he's
good
getting
that's a
to.
good
That's
show
why I
to
watch
save that for.
That show will like depress you though if you binge watch it.
I want to have one question for you though, Marshall, because I know this is probably just gonna piss you off, and so I want to say it.
All right, fair.
Better Call Saul, overall, better show than Breaking Bad, yes or no?
I haven't seen Better Call Saul all the way.
You
through.
haven't?
No.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen it all the
I've-
way through
I've
because it's
seen-
not over, but just like
well,
as
I've seen like the first, like 75% of the first season.
really, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, I personally, having watched the first 4 seasons, 5 isn't on Netflix yet, and 6, which is the last one, hasn't even been filmed yet.
Wow.
But as of season 4, I personally think that overall,
Really?
Better Call Saul is the better show because Breaking Bad, the first season and really kind of into the second, had some ups and downs for me. I was like, am I
Yeah.
really going to stick with this?
Yeah.
And
No, I
Charlie
agree.
doesn't agree. Charlie is like, no, man, it's a perfect show all the way
The
through.
first season.
I don't know about that.
The first season's great, but it kind of drags the second season. I always tell people, get through the second season and then it
Really?
hits off because
Yeah.
everyone's always like, oh, like I'm stuck on everyone's always stuck on the second season.
Yeah.
So, and then no, but I mean that kind of doesn't surprise me. It's the same with Vince Gilligan. That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Same writer. I mean, like why is it better? Like what aspect of it? Just that.
I just think
more consistent.
like I'd have to watch them both again because I've only seen both shows all the way through once.
Oh yeah.
But like I just remember that Better Call Saul hooked me faster than Breaking Bad did.
Probably 'cause
Well,
you already knew
you already knew all the
Breaking Bad.
characters. That's another thing.
But I
'Cause you
did
knew who
because,
Saul was, you knew who
because
Mike was, you knew who like.
well, that's the only 2 characters that are there in the first couple of
Yeah.
seasons, though.
I guess you're right. I don't know.
But
I think maybe Better Call Saul had potential to hook you faster for that exact
you
reason.
might be right. It's,
Yeah.
it's hard to say. Regardless, we'll move on from that. So I want to call you out for something.
Me.
I want to call you out for when you requested to be on this podcast. You said, and I quote, "We can talk about things of substance." So
Breaking this,
having listened apparently to only like 15 minutes of the last episode, what was your freaking problem with it, Marshall?
wasn't anything with you. It was the fact that Sebastian was talking about cheerleaders, and it's like, bro, like, listen to Joe Rogan before. I don't know.
Why does Joe Rogan talk about cheerleaders?
No, I'm just I mean like compared to, and you can't compare anything to Joe Rogan's podcast, but like
I haven't even listened to anything of Joe Rogan's.
Really,
I know Joe Rogan
Really?
from frickin' Zookeeper with Kevin James, where
He's
he's like,
in that movie?
prepare to experience the hail of Gale,
Oh my god,
or whatever he says.
That movie
No, I
sucks.
was completely joking. It was just funny how he brought that up.
They listen to Apple Bottom Jeans.
The
He's
monkey
driving in a van with
the gorilla.
gorilla, and they're just
Oh
like,
my
"Oh, he's
God.
just wearing a
You know,
costume."
you know what's worse?
Friggin-
What's worse is that the gorilla has a slow dance with a human woman
Yeah.
who thinks that he's a real man inside a suit, and she hasn't seen his face, and he's got the voice of Nick Nolte, who's like a chronic smoker, and she's somehow still going, "Oh, I'm so glad I met you."
I haven't seen that movie in so long. Planet of the Apes trilogy. Y'all got me thinking about that.
Oh yeah,
The new one.
I haven't
Are you a
seen.
fan?
watched all of them.
I haven't seen War for the Planet of the Apes, and it's been quite a long time since I saw the first two.
I just
I
don't
love-
watch it because you and
I love-
Elliot are too obsessed with
Yeah,
it.
no, we love those
I
movies.
just don't want to like them because y'all like them so much.
We've probably overhyped them at this point. But
It's like us with Dazed and Confused and Sutton.
yeah.
Although, like,
Dazed and
we
Confused
didn't
deserves
overhype
hype.
that.
Come
We
on.
didn't overhype that. We
But
might have.
It's just so quotable. That's why we always quoted it.
yeah,
And then
the thing
yeah, and
the
then-
thing is that literally everything that's good is going to be overhyped.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sick to death. I've always been sick to death of people talking about The Dark Knight because like there's
used to always
only
get mad at
there's
him.
only so much you can say about that, and it's all been said, and I'm just like, okay, we know it's great. We know Heath Ledger was great. Let's move on. Let's talk about something
Yeah.
else that doesn't get talked about as much just for
Yeah.
the sake of it. You know?
Dazed and Confused, like Sutton's critique was, nothing happens, and he's kind of right.
Well,
That's the
That's the
point.
point
That's-
of it,
yeah,
though.
that's that.
Yeah, like that's the
Every movie that guy Richard Linklater makes is exactly like that. It's a movie where you're walking and talking around
Yeah.
with a bunch of characters, and that's it. And
That's
some
fine. I
people
like that.
some people don't like that kind of movie, which is fair. I like that kind of movie.
Yeah, I do too.
Some of my favorite movies are like that. But anyway, Marshall, what in your mind qualifies as substance? What do you want to talk about?
I was just. I mean, what we're doing right now is great. I was pretty much just joking about that. I was just laughing because Sebastian brought up the cheerleader thing, which was funny. Like, don't get me wrong, but
Did you agree with him?
I mean,
that it was kind of weird to.
he kind of had a point. I
Yeah.
mean, like, because your point was cheerleaders are. Here we go. Your point.
I'm making you talk about something that you
Yeah.
thought had no substance.
Your point was cheerleaders were designed to be like looked at and to be
Right.
like gawked at.
Which
and
isn't
then-
necessarily right, but it's how it is.
Yeah, that's how it is. And then, well, that's how they became at least.
Right.
But and then to put them in high school, it is kind of weird.
And middle school, which
yeah,
is worse.
no, exactly.
Anyway. Favorite supermarket, go.
Aldi.
What?
Frick is Aldi.
What is that?
What is that?
Aldi, baby.
I don't know what that is.
It's
That
just
even
it's
in
just
Texas?
a small it's just a small little supermarket. I don't know, but if we're like in all seriousness, Kroger.
Really, you're a
Yeah.
Kroger guy,
I
huh?
love Kroger.
It depends on which Kroger you go
Kroger's
to.
kind of bland.
Kroger by my
The
house.
the
Love
one
That one sucks.
there's
No,
one
it
on
does not.
380 now that's decent, but the one that is off of I think it's El Dorado is garbage. It's trash. Adam, favorite supermarket?
I'll just say Market Street because it's the
Oh, that's a good
longest.
one.
It's the longest
See, this is things of substance.
in my
Yeah.
family. Like I used to before I went to school, I was like 5. I'd stay at home with my mom. Evan and Luke would go to school, and me and my mom would like go to Market Street.
Just
or
a
if I
thing.
get sick, like I'd get a little sick,
Yeah.
I'd go with my mom and get ginger ale from Market Street and come home and watch like The Sound of Music or Mary Poppins or some musical, Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
It always has to be a Disney musical
Yeah.
when you're sick. I was the same
Really?
way. Bedknobs and Broomsticks, I'm just gonna say, better than Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins is more
Dude,
popular,
I'm-
but
this is not my field. I'm not like I've seen Sound of Music in like 6th grade choir,
yeah.
and that's it. That was the funniest class.
We got a detention every day for just laughing at
Doing
each other.
nothing.
Well,
We had a
that's-
parody of I Wanna Rock in like 6th grade. It was
Wait,
it was like we were
wanna rock.
yeah.
wait. This is at MCA choir.
Yeah, with Miss Keys.
Mrs. Keys was Wow, I
She
missed
hated
out on
us.
Mrs. Key's best part then, because I never had to do a.
Well, we were
Parody.
just
You
were in
supposed to
middle
come up
school.
with like a song about
Well,
like what
I
we
was
did
in.
over the summer. We were like talking about places we
Oh.
went, and it was I want to go to Colorado, and Elliot talked about like Costa Rica, and you said something about Alaska.
I mean, I was in middle school too when I first had Mrs. Keys. I didn't enjoy choir to that
We
level.
enjoyed it because we made it fun.
We
Wow,
should
that's fair.
we should discuss the worst state in America.
The worst day in America.
Worst state. Sorry.
Oh, the worst
Why?
state. I was gonna
Just-
say, I think the
just
worst day in
because-
America is something that's kind of depressing to talk
Nah,
about.
No. Worst state.
Worst state.
Because I've been
I
thinking
haven't
about
even
that
been
lately.
to a quarter of the
I
states
know
in this
my
country.
answer.
Half of them at the top right just don't even. They're too small. They don't even deserve the states.
But those
Delaware,
those
Yeah.
states
no,
are like
Vermont, get out of here.
those states at least have like history. Like, I mean, I know that all states have history, but that's like a rich history for us.
Because of the New
But
England
freaking-
colonies.
But freaking New Mexico,
Really, you got a problem with
kinda
New Mexico?
sucked. It's just
You're gonna piss off some people who listen to this.
oh yeah, no,
Archer's
I
gonna be
know.
mad at you, dude.
I know, but okay. I mean, I've been to. I drove through it like over the break because we drove through it over the break because we went to Arizona.
Yeah.
And there was just some stops that were it was just like empty and bland. There's nothing to do there, which might be kind of the appeal to some people that it's just kind of quiet.
Yeah.
But
I
don't
would
know.
I would counter that by saying
Nevada's pretty bad too.
yeah, probably. I would counter that by saying the desert, while boring, is more interesting to look at, say like on a long car ride, than Nebraska
Yeah.
and Kansas, which is just corn
No, I
as
agree.
far as
I
the eye
agree.
can see.
I actually like the deserts were actually like in some way kind of pretty, but like
Yeah.
the cities like within it just I don't know.
I haven't been
Something about
to New Mexico. I've been to how many states have we been to, Adam?
We went straight up,
Yeah, we went
Well,
straight
we went to the
up and then a
side.
little to the left. We were like,
and then we like
so we went through Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota. I don't think that we go all the way to North Dakota
We just stopped at the faces in the wall.
at Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
No, but we had a cabin up there, and I don't know if that cabin
I
was
think there
technically
was
in North
one
Dakota.
spot where we were in like 4 states at one time that we went to on top of like a mountain.
Yeah, but that's after then we started heading to Colorado, and I think we were probably like
And there might have
technically
been
in.
some a little to the right or something.
Yeah, I think we were technically in like Wyoming or Utah or something like that.
We've been to plenty of states, barely been out of the country.
I've been out of the country.
I have like South Padre Island.
Does that
When
count?
we were little, I don't even know.
I don't think it counts.
But
I think
that's,
that's still
like, it.
Texas.
That's it for me.
Yeah.
Mainland.
I don't really have a reason to go out of the country, like,
Yeah,
but-
straight up.
and
Dude,
of
you
course,
wanna, like move to
No, I don't. I mean, like that'd be kind of sick.
Iceland or
No, I mean,
Netherlands or
Iceland.
something?
I thought.
The
I mean,
Netherlands, that's what it
I
is.
just thought. No, what?
Yeah, the Netherlands.
I never
You
said that.
do?
used to always say that. One of those
I
things
said.
up there.
I said Norway.
Norway. That's the same thing.
No, but I like kind of was joking, but like also I think it'd be kind of cool to like have a cabin up there and just kind of be isolated for a little bit, which is obviously like not
Yeah.
realistic, but
well, I think everybody wants
Getting away
to
from
be
everything.
isolated for a while
Yeah.
to some degree. I mean, I would do it if I could, but
Yeah.
I know that it wouldn't last. Like,
No, yeah.
at some point I'd be like, well, I'm bored, time to go back. But
I think it's perfectly fine to just stay in the country that you're born in.
my thing is
I mean,
like,
I like to travel. I would like to travel more and more.
yeah,
but, like,
I like travel okay. You gotta do it with the right people, and you gotta like know your limits. Most of the time I go places, I'm gone for too long.
yeah.
And so then
Yeah.
I leave, like I come back and I'm like, well, that trip isn't as good as it could have been. And the reason I'm thinking of that is because I was gone too long. I was wearing myself thin.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of just want to explore the whole country before I bother to explore other countries.
I've
That's my
wanted to
thing.
just. I mean, everyone's talked about this. Like every person ever has talked about this, but like just getting an RV with some friends and just road tripping across
I know.
America.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
awesome.
and like
I mean-
the thing is like we know somebody who actually is basically doing that. Like
Garrett.
Garrett's living
Yeah.
out of his van. Like that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty sick.
You know, and it's not my lifestyle at all. Like that van's got a comfy bed, but I'm not gonna like
Yeah, very much
commit
his
to that.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
you
he
made
seems to be
that-
having a good time of it.
You made that
I know,
hole in
I've
your
made this-
sock so much bigger since we
these
Has
started.
that okay? I was
These socks
honestly,
suck.
I was noticing that out of the peripheral vision. I was like, that hole has become thinner and thinner
Yeah,
until
It's just not even there. It's
Yeah.
just
until
like,
now it's
toe
just like
now.
yeah.
Dude, remember our
Do you have any-
infatuation with toes and like?
Infatuation.
We're not going
Weird.
No,
into
no,
that territory.
no, it wasn't like that.
Weird.
but you
No,
just-
What do you mean it
No,
wasn't
whoa,
like that?
infatuation
You were
is the wrong.
Yeah,
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 infatuation is the wrong
You were
word.
just like toes are cool, and I was
Fascination.
like, okay.
No, I thought the word toes was funny.
Yeah, the word toe is funny.
I wasn't
It's like
infatuated
pants.
by toes.
Toes-
Sure, buddy.
toe
Making
and
me sound like a
pants.
freak.
Sure, buddy. It's okay.
Oh my god.
I like the word pants a
Tarantino's
lot.
like that.
What?
You like the word pants a lot?
Just like cool pants.
You guys like words that I dislike. I don't like pants or toes. The
That's
words.
kind of the point. Like that's why it's
I
funny.
mean, I don't
though, is
like
'cause
pants
it's
or toes
weird.
in general,
Weird
really.
words.
But
See, this is we are now talking about things of substance.
if you say so, substance isn't a bad word.
just
I like
kidding.
that word.
Dude,
Oh,
you
Goonies.
Wait.
Overrated.
Okay, why?
Yeah, because that's what that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Everything that's good is overrated.
Yeah, but I was just reminded. I was trying to think of a movie I saw recently that I thought that about, and it was
Oh yeah.
I feel
happened
like
to be a poster in your room.
when you have deep conversations with guys, eye contact is weird. Like, let me just look at both
Maybe
of
just
y'all
for
I don't.
right
you.
now.
I don't feel like we make eye.
If
I don't
we're
feel
just
like
looking-
guys make eye contact
If we're
much in
just
general.
sitting here talking and I'm just looking at y'all in the eyes, like
Depends on who you're talking
I
to.
just don't.
Well, see, my thing is like if you're ever looking at me, like eye contact, like unblinking, I just
Oh,
know
I
that
guess
you're
you're right.
screwing with me, so it's not weird
What
for
if I
me.
am
Because
blinking? What if we're
typically,
just
like
talking and
it's
I'm
like
just-
typically if guys are having
I know you're still screwing with me. I can tell.
if
It's-
guys are having deep talks, we'll be like
Yeah, we.
sitting like this, just looking at
Yeah,
the ground
you look
or
at
something.
you just look
Yeah.
around. Like if you talk to a girl though, like you can look them in the eyes.
Mhm. I don't know. I feel like I try to maintain a
like an adult.
healthy 50-50 eye contact, looking away.
I feel like if I'm looking
Yeah.
away,
No
then I
matter
just-
who I'm talking
then I
to.
just look at you and we're both looking at each other and we just quickly look away. Like that's just awkward.
Well, it is when you do the quickly looking away thing, because then it's like, you know, some cheesy rom-com or something where it's like, this magic moment. And then it becomes awkward, and you're like, oh my gosh, did he look at me?
Dude, in 7th grade, me and Marshall brought back the high five and it was cool.
That's
What do
one
you
of the
mean?
things he told me you wanted
We
to talk
started
about.
The high five
high-fiving a
never
lot.
left. What do you
No,
mean?
No,
by
it
that?
did.
It did.
I don't think
And we
so.
brought it back.
Okay.
Just take our word for it.
We were in like
Okay.
Latin. We would always like listen to Green Day. We'd both put in our headphones and start like
You
Jesus of
still only
Suburbia at
listen
the
to Green
exact
Day.
same time, and then we'd like
Yeah.
high five sometimes. We'd look at each other and just like,
Okay.
So that doesn't sound, though, like you brought it back for anyone but the two of you.
Well, we still brought
No.
it back in some sense.
we brought it back to the world. The high five was gone.
I don't think so. I don't think it
These
was.
socks are pissing me off.
Just take them off.
No, I don't.
They
please
look like the
don't.
worst
Yeah.
socks ever.
kinda are.
Polish brought back Yeet.
I don't think he brought it back.
That's
He
not
did.
nearly as cool as bringing out the high five.
I didn't say it was cool. I just said he did it.
We took something that was once just the highest thing of society. Like, if you really just loved someone and something, you would just high five, and people weren't
In
doing
like
that
the
anymore.
1940s, maybe.
And then we just brought it back, and now everyone's high fiving again, and none of them know it, but it's because of us.
Can you like? You're just.
It's like those people
can't
who,
see-
who,
you-
who claim they started a trend. That they
peop-
just didn't.
The people listening can't see, but Adam's like looking off dramatically into the middle distance as he says this.
We
like,
used to run
dang it, that was just the best thing I've ever done in
on
my
like
life.
the last day of school in like 7th grade. We ran like all the way across campus, just sprinted at each other and just high fived, and it hurt so bad, but it was really cool. This conversation's
was.
gone downhill since I started talking.
No, I just don't think
No,
the
I just
high
took a
five is
turn.
that cool. No, I just took a hard
Just took a
left. Don't
hard
worry.
turn.
We'll steer her back straight in a second.
That was it. That was all my topics. I
That
have
was all
nothing
your.
else.
You guys don't have
well.
any like the rope story was pretty awesome. You guys don't have any stories that
He was
equates
there.
to that.
He was at the rope.
Well, I know, but a
rope?
different one.
Dude, the rope at Sutton's house.
Oh, you'll talk about that last.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I just
That
didn't
was
watch
me.
it to that.
I
point.
thought that was a pretty good story,
was
honestly. That
probably
that
one of
beats
our
most
best
of the
stories.
stories
I
I have.
feel like I was the person who like actually made it happen.
No, it was definitely all me.
No, like
all
it
my
was,
idea.
it was your idea, but
the
y'all-
way Adam tells it, he's the one that proved
no,
that it could work,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
you,
you
you
climbed
were
up
like
first.
And
you
it was
were,
my idea.
You were, but if you wouldn't have had that support from me to actually do it, Sutton would have never agreed.
Well, yeah, and Sebastian was just like
He was
he would do it.
Eating
He would,
wheat
like,
thins?
If we all did it, he would do it. But yeah, apparently
Oh.
he stopped while he was letting us in. Like when he went in through the front door, it took him so
yeah,
long
he
because
told
he
us.
got a snack
he told us.
and like poured juice for himself.
so
So
funny.
funny.
That is so funny.
But y'all,
Oh yeah, we do.
y'all gotta
we
have
were
a story.
we were
There's no
in
way.
ninth grade, the last day of school,
Mm-hmm.
or like the week before finals.
Oh,
We were all 15.
oh,
But he had his car, and we all snuck out of his house.
Oh
Like,
my
he had a
God.
ring and stuff, and we just walked out,
yeah.
Right.
and we got in his car and just drove.
I got caught for it.
Yeah, but he was only grounded for like a couple months.
I was grounded for a week, and I
Or it was supposed to be a couple.
was grounded for a
months, but it
week,
was
and
just, like,
no,
a
I was
week.
grounded for a week, and I couldn't go anywhere besides here in school for the first month of having my license, which
But-
kind of sucked.
Yeah, but dude, that was incredible. We listened to like, what was it?
Death Grips.
Oh no, Rubber Biscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, by Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers.
And we just drove around. At one point, you turned into the wrong lane. Like, if it was not 2 in the morning, like, other cars would be coming at you. but-
Man, that was scary.
And we
dude.
went to, like, that neighborhood school by your house and found that... Oh, and we streaked.
Yeah, we streaked.
Oh my god.
We got out and, like, we were, like, at, like, a tennis court thing. And we're like, we should just run to the... to touch the fence and
Naked.
back naked.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
And then
And
you
we
did.
And we
did
did
it.
it.
That's
And then we
nice.
got back. Sebastian was asleep on the couch. He missed the whole
Missed-
thing.
Oh yeah, that's.
But
Carson was there too.
yeah, Carson was there, and Sutton was there, I think.
Yeah, it was me,
It
Sutton,
was like us
Carson,
5.
Caden.
Yeah, and then we went back to the house, and I think we did it again, like just like a couple minutes later.
Oh, we did. No, yeah,
Yeah.
we came back and we got something. I forgot
don't know
what,
what it was.
but yeah.
But we found like that half football. It was like a football, but like it was rounded halfway through.
That's
and it was
weird.
like something you'd throw if you don't have a dad.
No, like,
so
you-
it'd be like, hey dad, catch, throw it in
No,
the wall and it'd come back.
You
to
throw it at the wall and it bounces back to you. It's kind of cool, actually. It was pretty
Yeah,
fun.
it is.
It's still at your house.
It's kind of a sad concept.
Yeah, even so, it's cool enough. I feel like you guys were, Adam. I remember like the first year or two that you had a license, you got in trouble just all the freaking
Yeah,
time.
because like I would just do normal things, but like they
younger,
wouldn't like it.
younger sibling.
Because like if I wanted to go do something,
No, but you got in trouble for like having too many people in the car.
yeah, everyone drives more people than 2.
I maybe did it once, but
I
like
do it all the time still.
I just feel like
they're like okay
No
with
one-
it now.
no
I
one
just
cares
feel like you
anymore.
weren't smart about it more likely than not. I
Yeah,
feel like
me
you
and-
just went and did it.
Me and Carson and like his old boyfriends, we like snuck into their homecoming
I
dance.
so thought you said his old boyfriends.
No,
I was like,
no. But we snuck into his homecoming dance, and I left my phone at his house, and they were like calling it because I was late to be home
yeah.
because we were gone, and like his mom answered and like, oh, they went to the homecoming dance.
Leaving your phone though is
and
not
just
like
exposed me.
that's not
I was
the way.
grounded for like 2 months. It was terrible.
I've always wanted to go to some school dance that I don't belong at though. I think I almost did at one point with Jeremy.
We
maybe,
really
but-
weren't there for that long because I was already late
Yeah,
to be home, and we knew that I was screwed.
yeah.
But
Wow.
it was an experience. I think I've figured it out now. Like I've relaxed my boundaries enough just by
Well, you're also
doing
just
it.
allowed to drive enough people now.
Yeah.
well, it's still not legal.
What do you mean it's not
I'm
legal?
17.
You
I
have to
still
be-
can't drive more than one person.
I thought it was you have to have had your license for a year.
Is that? I don't think that's it.
It's until you're
I think you
18.
have to, you have to get it renewed at 18, and that's when
Okay,
you-
never mind. I probably broke the rules more often
Yeah,
than I
that's
thought.
so
then.
that's such a stupid rule. Like,
Yeah,
who's
it
gonna
is.
enforce
Every
that?
now and then, like our dad's like, "Are you driving more than one person?" But like other times, we're all like, 4 of my friends are here, and then we all just get in my car.
And you
drive
go to
away, and
Andy's
they
like
don't
just
notice.
last night. Yeah.
Well, last night I said Luke was driving,
Oh.
but like that's just because Luke was going. If Luke
Yeah.
wasn't going at all, they wouldn't even asked who's driving.
Yeah.
I don't know. Luke sat in the very back.
Clear invite, dude.
Yeah, you weren't here.
Actually, it was like Sam and Elizabeth. You don't.
Oh yeah.
like
Oh
them.
my god.
Adam just no chill hangs out with like 4 girls at a time every weekend.
Yeah.
I mean,
Goes gets
Yeah,
ice
but he's
cream.
not interested in any of them.
yeah, they're just guys.
That's still better than
The boys.
what I was where I was at when I was 17. It's still notable, at least as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
I don't know why you have a girlfriend.
Because he's a musician, man. That's all it takes.
I play basketball.
You play a guitar. If you play a guitar, even if you don't play it well, in most cases that's better than even playing a sport.
I bought a guitar.
Historically speaking, that's
don't
the
know.
I
truth.
spent like $300 on a guitar and an amp and everything, and I
And
just
then you
never
just
learned how
didn't
to
learn.
play it. So it only gets played when Marshall's over, and he like strums on it a little bit.
I'm just not musically adept. I can't read music. I don't understand music. I can't like hear like the difference between a melody and a tone
You gotta.
and a note and
It's
whatever.
like I don't know. It's just some people are born with different things. Like I'm sure you're born with a way better ability to write than I am.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
born with a-
and I'm
with
not
playing
even complaining.
basketball.
I'm just saying that like I can't do it.
Like I wish I could draw so much, but I
Really?
just can't. I can't like visualize. Some people have.
just draw stick figures like I do.
Yeah, but like some people can. Some people like look at things and know why it looks the way it does and why it like looks the way
Like
it
the
does.
perspective and the
Yeah,
shadows
exactly,
and all that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I just can't do that.
Yeah, that's difficult stuff to understand.
Dude, little dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like
and
this
like I've
weird
drawn
potato
some.
guy.
I've drawn
I
some,
remember little dude. You showed that
It
to
was
me
so
at some
yeah, like
point.
Marshall. I invented little dude, and Marshall invented the horns. Like, I like
Which
drew
is
this little
arguably
potato
something
dude.
little dude
no,
did
like
not need.
I have I
He
have
just drew the
good.
horns.
This is my I don't even know what it's called. This is my problem. But I have like ideas, like really cool ideas for visual art things, but I just can't translate them into actually drawing them, or I can't really communicate them to other people either. So it's just kind of a prison, just kind of trapped.
You should try like what are they called at the police stations? The sketch artists or whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to the
They-
police station to get a guy to draw.
I'm
like a
just
duck.
I'm just saying that like those guys are trained to go off of very like unspecific descriptions and still get accurate
That's
or
so crazy.
semi-accurate drawings.
That is so crazy.
So I don't know if they can do that, then surely somebody out there can translate onto paper whatever you're thinking of, at least kind of close. But what kind of like if you were drawing or if you were making animated shorts like you said earlier or whatever, like what kind of stories do you have in mind? Like what do you come up with?
Just funny, stupid things that happened at school, mainly.
Really? Okay.
Mainly, just like because there's so many of our teachers. I'm not gonna name like who,
Yeah.
but
It's okay. We've named teachers
yeah,
on the
no, but like
podcast
there's so
before.
many teachers that like I have certain personalities that I could. I
Yeah.
feel like I could just
Yeah,
over exaggerate a lot and make them really like
for sure.
comical, and I think that'd just be super funny to have a sort of like a
Yeah. I
I
kind
can
of
draw our teachers
funny
pretty
high
good.
school.
Like if I'm sitting in class and I doodle a teacher,
Uh-huh.
I can make them look pretty accurate.
Yeah.
I used to try to do that. I went through a phase
Mr.
where I
Tucker's
tried
probably
to do
the
that.
easiest.
He is I drew Mr. Tucker one time shouting at a kid who hadn't shaved,
Yeah.
and it was probably one of my favorite drawings I did at the time. No, I think I lost that drawing. I don't think I have it anymore. I could recreate it probably, but it wouldn't be the same.
But mainly stuff like that,
Yeah.
because that'd be so fun.
I feel like if I were to attempt to do anything movie-wise or TV show-wise, that would probably be my go-to, is to try to like recreate some of my time at MCA and like tell a story
Yeah.
based around memories of that.
Because so many stupid
It's
things
just
happen
it's
there.
just rather it's remarkable to me, like looking back on it. It's this private school that's barely on the map, and the like class like the students are not that diverse, and there's just not a lot going on
Yeah.
when you look at it from far away.
Yeah.
But like you take I was there for like I don't know 6 years, I think 7. And just everything that happened to me and happened to me after in the first few years of college with the same people that I was with all of my time at MCA. I don't know. There's just been so much that's going
It
on.
feels crazy whenever you're in it, but like, I'm sure once you graduate, you're just like, that really wasn't anything.
I feel like my
no,
whole
there was some stuff that still, I would say, affects me to this day, arguably.
really?
Yeah.
my whole life at MCA could be like a
great TV show. I think.
That's what everyone thinks about their lives.
No, but like it would. My life is different than everyone else's.
That's what everyone thinks.
I'm
about
not
their
like
lives.
the
other
best-
people.
I'm
I'm
the-
built different.
I'm the best main character for the
Like,
story of my life.
no matter it's not even a matter of arrogance. It's like just the
No,
fact
it's
the
just-
fact that you're
You're the main character in.
you're the main character of your
Yeah.
life because you're unconscious.
Yeah, I mean that's
That's
just
natural.
how
Yeah,
that's
it's
just how
just how it
people
is.
are designed. But I don't know. I think realistically speaking, no one has, or very few people at least, have enough to sustain a truly great story. Certainly on the level of a TV show. But if you were to take like multiple people from MCA, like the same class, and combine all their memories together
Yeah.
and create a show that's not based around one character, then that
be-
could probably work.
That'd be cool.
So, I don't know. I would, that the problem would just be like, for me, like, I trying to make a show about like me and my friends and then trying to find actors to like measure up to that.
that would be
wouldn't.
difficult.
Yeah, that would
That's
be
why.
hard.
That's
why you have
why
to do it.
drawing. That's why like, if you just
Yeah.
drew it and then had voice.
That's true, yeah.
actors. But voice actors are hard too. Being a voice actor would be so tough. That's a talent.
Yeah. I
Luke's got a lot of voices. He could do that.
I think Luke could do it too. Luke's really, ever since he read, I feel like at least, ever since he read It is when he really got onto it, because there's a character in the book whose, like, shtick is that he does voices.
Yeah.
And I noticed, especially since after reading that book, Luke has been walking around for the last couple of years trying to do different voices, and he is pretty good at most of them. Like, even if it's not technically good, it's like his delivery and the way he's saying it is still decently funny. Like, he tries to do like Chris Rock, who's obviously like Luke is very white and Chris Rock is very black,
Yeah.
and like he can't like do that good a Chris Rock, but it's just the way that he's trying to do it is
Yeah.
like funny in and of itself.
Speaking of Stephen King, I saw Carrie the other day.
The original or the remake?
The original.
Okay. What'd you think
Really
of that one?
freaking good. I liked it. a
Really?
lot.
You liked it?
Yeah, I liked it. Did you like it?
I like it okay. It's not, it's far from my favorite Stephen King movie or book.
What's your favorite movie?
My
Stephen-
favorite Stephen King movie?
Yeah.
The Shining and The Shawshank Redemption and Stand By Me are all such easy choices. Like, and one of those three is the ones that somebody expects you to choose. I feel
Stand
like.
By Me is Stephen King.
Yeah, it's
Mhm,
The
you didn't know
Body or something, right?
Yeah, it's
The
the
Body.
book's called The Body. I have it over there on my
What?
shelf. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess it is kind of dark. Yeah, they're looking for a dead body.
Right. But anyway, those three are such easy options, so it would be one of those normally, but I could, to pick a less cliche choice, I could say Dr. Sleep I thought was a pretty good movie.
I haven't seen that. I want
I
to
haven't
see
seen
that.
it either. We own it, and I've never got to sit down.
Have
and
you even
actually
seen The
watch it.
Shining either?
I watched The Shining one
Oh my
morning. I woke
gosh.
up and I'm like, all right, this is the day I'll watch The Shining.
It's gonna happen.
I went right in there and I turned it on and I just sat down for 3.5 hours and watched it.
It's not
really
3.5
good.
hours.
It's something like
It's
that.
it's 2.5 hours.
Whatever. It feels really long.
I don't know. I think it's
for
really,
me it breezes by pretty quickly.
I love that movie.
But,
It's like one of my
um,
favorites. Just like in.
But the
all
same,
time.
but the same thing for Doctor Sleep, which they have an extended version of that, which is actually 3 hours instead of the regular 2.5 hour version. But for both, I was like, honestly, these just breeze by, and it's a really good story. And the thing about it is that it's kind of weird. So like, Stephen King hates the movie adaptation of The Shining, and I understand why. But like,
Have you read the book?
yes, but like having read the book, that's what I was gonna say. The movie is better. However,
Really?
the movie version of Doctor Sleep, while still good, is not as good as the book. The reason for that is because the movie Doctor Sleep, to even get made, had to do certain things that the Shining movie didn't do, that the Shining book did do, because that's why Stephen King like hates it, is because the movie is so different from the book. And so he was like, okay, well, if you're gonna make a Doctor Sleep movie, then how about you do these couple of things that The Shining was supposed to do that it didn't.
So it's worth a watch. Doctor
Oh, yeah.
Sleep.
Yeah. I saw that
Alright.
only one time in the theaters. I could have seen it a couple more times, to be honest. And it was surprising to me that, like, it didn't really take off. I don't think the box office return was
Yeah.
that big on that one.
Well, most of Stanley Kubrick, that's his name, right?
That did The Shining?
The
Yeah.
Shining. Yeah, most of his movies weren't appreciated until later. Like,
I guess that's true.
No one liked.
He's not really my
2001.
favorite director in general, though.
Yeah.
I haven't even tried 2001 yet.
You haven't seen that?
No.
Wow.
I'm
That
not.
actually
I'm not that
surprises me.
interested in it, to be honest.
It's actually really good. But
I
it's
know
kind of
that,
like it's one of those where you just you can act like you know what's going on, but
Right.
you don't know what's going on. You don't know what the ending means.
Yeah, and like you take Full Metal Jacket, like, which is basically two movies in one. It's like, you know, the training half and then the half where they're in
Never seen that.
Nam. Well, I'll just tell you, like, the training half is a way better movie than the Nam half.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Kubrick's hit or miss. I think he's just one of those that, like, because he made such large scale projects and became a household name, like, people just kind of
Yeah.
immortalize him. And
Yeah.
I don't know. And he was a jerk too.
Yeah, I've heard.
Have you heard, like,
what his treatment of the Wendy's actress?
yeah, Shelley Duvall?
Yeah.
Like, I feel
Oh my
so bad
gosh.
for her, man. He was awful. And I never understood, like, how like they call certain directors, like, actors directors, because they're in tune to, like, you know, they ask actors, they're like, what do you think about, you know, this scene that's coming up, or do
Yeah.
you have any input? And, like, I don't understand how you couldn't be that kind of director and expect your movie to be as good as it could
As
be
it
if you
can.
were.
Because some
because-
actors, like, I mean, they're good actors, but just aren't good in the movie because their character is
Right.
like written. Like
I-
Robert Pattinson stands out to me. Like Twilight sucks, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna offend people.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Who are you offending?
I
Like,
don't know.
girls who were
Girls,
12
exactly.
10 years ago? Who cares?
But it's Twilight just kind of sucks, and it's like,
yeah.
but he like in the Lighthouse, really good.
Mm.
So
I think
don't
that
know. He's Batman now.
yeah. I'm so
What do you,
so
how do you feel
like
about
about him being
About him
Batman.
being
I'm okay with it.
Batman. Yeah, I mean, like,
I like that
people-
better than Ben Affleck.
yeah, me too. People were like, no one thought that Heath Ledger would.
Hmm.
People doubted him, so
I think that people like it's odd to me that people get hung up specifically on the casting for comic book movies. Like,
yeah,
who cares who's
Yeah.
playing it? Just as long as the movie's good and as long as it works. And that's the thing, is like, if it doesn't work, I never blame the actor before I blame the director, because chances are is the director gave bad advice
Yeah.
or instruction to the actor,
Yeah.
because actors don't run the movie, you know, like, so I don't know.
DC is just, especially Batman. I mean, people like with the Dark Knight trilogy, people just that image of Batman is how they expect it, how they now expect.
Well, and
all
you
to
know
be.
the-
and that's why Man of Steel was so dark, is because
Right.
I
And you know the
forgot his
problem with
name.
that is it's because the directors who make Batman movies,
Yeah,
since like the beginning of time, since like Tim Burton, with the exception obviously of the '60s Batman, which was on acid, and I love it for that.
it's amazing.
But
The ducks.
but since then, all the directors who have made Batman movies, they study a few specific Batman comic books, if they study any at all. And it's like the ones that inspired The Dark Knight. It's like The Dark Knight Returns, like the Frank Miller, like the dark storylines. And like Batman has other
Yeah,
storylines that aren't so dark all the
They
time.
read the big ones. Like
Yeah, they
Killing
read
Joke,
them. The Killing Joke. They read the most famous ones, and they could probably make some. What are you doing?
I'm just stretching. I need to get different positions.
Okay, if you say so. The if they could just read other Batman comic books, the writers, then maybe they could make a Batman movie that is not only good but different than
The Dark Knight.
what we've seen the
Yeah,
last 20 years or
exactly.
so. But I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. People like to just watch the same
'Cause, like,
type of crap.
Batman
over and over.
is dark, but if you read some of his, like, aside from the big ones, he has like a very dry, dark
Yeah,
sense of humor. Sometimes
You can find them even in, like, I just scroll through Instagram and see, like, either people have posted panels from the comic books, or occasionally I think there's a couple animated series that people would say, like the really big Batman fans would say, has got Batman more right than any of the movies.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's
what. Yeah,
and there's totally, you know, moments where he's just like making jokes.
yeah, like for like seriously.
yeah. But
Or he's sarcastic too.
Yeah, and but that's also like, I think humor in general, not just in DC but in Marvel as well, is just like there's such an up and down movement with the way it's handled, and I think it ultimately comes down to like some of the movies. I don't even know how, but some of the movies are more studio driven, and some of the movies are more like about if depending on the person directing it, like they're in charge of everything. And I think the ones where the director's in charge more than the studio is are funnier usually.
Yeah.
Or even if they're not funnier, then the balance is better.
Agreed.
I think that's what people liked about Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think it's the funniest Marvel movie, and I think there's a lot of jokes, especially in the second one, that didn't really work. Mm-hmm. But at least it knew where it was going with it, you know, and it was consistent.
I hate in movies like when they make a sequel and there's like a joke that they made in the first one that they like remake in the second one, but it's just a little bit off.
What do you mean?
Like, I can't think of an example. I feel like there's
I
maybe
actually
one
I
in
have an
Wayne's World
example.
too.
I have a really dumb
But
example.
like, yeah.
Agent Cody Banks. The first one,
Okay.
there's a fart joke, and the second one there's also like the same fart joke. But in the
Wait,
one,
What is
the one in
what's
the first
fart,
one,
What's the fart joke?
it's just a guy farts.
I
That's the
don't
joke.
remember that. Wait,
Like, and it's awkward.
wait,
I remember that in the second one.
And they're in the elevator or something.
but what were you?
Yeah.
But what, I don't remember that. But what were you gonna say about Wayne's World, Adam?
I
What
feel
joke
like there
is?
might be one in there, but like they just. Say,
I mean, they repeat like the same stuff on the show. Like there's an extreme close up both times. Is that what you mean?
No. Like just in the actual movie part, like someone says a joke in the first one and it's like all right. In the second movie, they say kind of the same joke, but a little bit of the words are changed and they like say the emphasis on a different word or something, and it just sounds wrong.
But like, are they doing it to, as in homage to the first movie's joke, or are they just
I
trying
don't know.
to
It
repeat
just
the
sounds.
same joke?
It just seems uncreative to me because it's like
Well,
they have
I'm
to repeat the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. Is like,
probably,
if they were
what you're
referencing the first movie intentionally,
I
then
think that they are. I needed an example to bring this up, but
yeah, I don't.
I feel like they do it a lot.
I don't
in
know of any
things.
examples. But yeah, there's.
Maybe Kung Fu Panda 2 has one or something.
I didn't like Kung Fu Panda 2.
The first one's incredible. That's all
The
that
first
really
one's
matters.
incredible, and that's true. That's all
I
that
thought two
matters.
was good.
Two was
Really?
Liked it.
How about that's something I like to talk to people about. So, what is your like unpopular? I hate the term, but unpopular movie opinion. Like, what movie do you like that everyone hates, or what movie do you hate that everyone likes?
Goonies.
Really, you flat out hated the
I don't
Goonies?
hate it, but I just
Fair enough.
I don't know. That's the one that comes to mind. I'm trying to think of. Like I don't know. One doesn't come to the top
I
of my head.
definitely
but-
have some, like, my friends talk about how it's, like, a terrible movie. I can't remember what they are. I have plenty.
I mean, I feel
It's
like-
stuff that I watched when I was little.
I was gonna say, I feel like Adam, me, and you and Luke,
We have
like
the same ones, probably.
we have the same ones because we grew up watching movies like Sahara and The A-Team and
A-Team.
The Italian Job, and like we love those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One for like it doesn't really matter why. It's just the fact that like we really enjoy those, and they're not popular among like
Yeah.
the movie snobs. But there's a lot of popular movies that
Even,
I
like-
don't like.
Oh,
the
I don't know if
100 and
anyone
stuff.
actually like really likes it, but Friday the 13th sucks.
I don't think you're supposed to like Friday the 13th
but,
at this
but
point.
it's so popular. And it just from the beginning has sucked.
I don't think it's really popular now. I think like it was, and honestly, as somebody who is like very interested in the subculture of like 80s slasher movies, I don't think most of them, Friday the 13th included, like on their own, I just don't think they were popular like for what they were. I think the whole thing collectively, like the
Yeah.
idea of like the movies where a guy with a knife chases people
On
like,
Friday the 13th.
that's what was popular.
Like the fact that it was also like superstition too.
Right.
All four of the Scream movies I like, which
I
is pretty
love
unpopular.
the freaking Scream movies,
yeah,
dude. I
except
love them.
3 was
also in love
iffy,
with the
but everything else. Oh, Nev
She's
Campbell.
hot, dude.
Nev
Are you
Campbell's
kidding me?
yeah, Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
Was, yeah.
I haven't watched all of them.
Which,
There's a lot of things in these.
Also, some people don't like the Outsiders at all. I really like the Outsiders.
The movie The
Yeah,
Outsiders? I didn't care for the movie.
I didn't like it that much.
I like it a lot. It's cheesy, but I like it still.
Yeah. Have you watched, speaking of Ralph Macchio, have you watched Cobra Kai?
No, everyone's
Cobra
talking
Kai
about
is so-
My parents
it's
watch
great, dude.
It's
Because
so cheesy,
it's
but, like, I
also
don't
it's
care.
also very cheesy, but like they do cheesy in the best way possible.
Like,
Like
if-
they just own it.
Yeah, my
man. They go-
parents were saying that if it was like good acting, it would be weird.
Yeah, well, it would be
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But
Like
yeah,
if it wasn't cheesy, it would be off. It wouldn't be as good. which is-
Season 3 just came out, and I don't think it was the best season, but I think all 3 seasons so far have been really good.
When is Stranger Things 4 coming out?
I freaking wish I knew, man. I'm so pissed off at like I understand respectfully that
It's
COVID
supposed to
like
be,
has
August.
COVID has killed people. COVID has put people out of jobs. There's a
Yeah.
lot of inconveniences. For me personally, it's not affected my life.
August 21st.
Yeah.
It's not affected my life beyond the fact that Stranger Things 4 was delayed. I don't think that like I'm serious. That's the most it's
Yeah,
done to
I
piss me
mean,
off.
Yeah.
But I don't think Adam who said it was August 21st.
Google.
What do they know?
I think I think that's unofficial, dude. I don't think
Seems pretty
anybody's flat
official.
out said that.
On January 10, a post from Twitter.
I know, but you're just reading, like-
indicated that an official release date would be August 21st.
I
I'll look
think
on
you're
IMDb.
reading just until I see an interview with Sean Levy or the Duffer Brothers or some Netflix executive. That's when I'll believe August 21st. But God, I know I'm so in love with Stranger Things, and it pissed me off that season 4 did. Like we would have had it in a couple months at this point if things had gone normal.
Super.
Oh, okay. I got a movie that everyone likes. I don't really like that much.
Yeah,
Jurassic Park.
really.
And I know y'all probably might rip me to shreds for this, but I just
No,
I
I won't
mean,
rip you to shreds
no,
for it.
I'm just
I don't
joking.
like
But
it that
like,
much.
but like, people love that movie, and
Yeah.
I watch it.
It's an okay.
I think it's the basically the '90s version of Jaws. It's by the same guy.
Yeah.
It's
Jaws is, to
Spielberg
me-
like doing the shark, and now he's doing the
Yeah.
dinosaur. And I think I'll tell you one thing. I hate the legacy of Jurassic Park. There should have been one movie,
Yeah,
and they should have.
that's
ended
probably
It.
why I don't like it. Is because I know that I'm like Jurassic World. Is
But
like,
you know the best thing about Jurassic Park is the best thing about any movie he's in. It's Jeff Goldblum, dude.
Yeah.
You watch it for Jeff Goldblum.
absolutely.
You watch him to go like, now, correct me if I'm wrong, but your scientists, they
yeah,
they were so preoccupied with I can't do a Jeff Goldblum impersonation,
Yeah.
but like God, he's so
he
freaking
is.
funny.
He is. That's the one aspect of the movie I did like, and like I
I
don't
feel
know.
like he's in enough things.
I know, like
I don't know that much that he's in.
he's in.
His voice is just so.
Well,
iconic.
you know the real thing. It's like it's not even that he's not in enough things. He's not in a lead role in enough things.
Yeah.
Like he was the lead in The Fly in the '80s, which I know you haven't seen,
Probably this sounds terrible.
but it's
I think
good.
It's really good.
I'll tell you something. It's good and it's disgusting. It's one of the only movies that's ever made me like cringe. Like I'm like,
I hate disgusting things.
there's some
yeah.
disgusting scenes in The Fly, dude. But it's awesome because it's like, yeah, like you're just wondering, like, man, this was 1986. These are real effects. Like, how did they pull this off? But yeah, Jeff Goldblum should be in more movies. That's the bottom line. He should be in
Oh man.
and more good movies, not just
I
like
didn't really respect him for how just incredible his voice is until
Yeah.
before Ragnarok
yeah.
because
Those are the only. I mean, I've probably seen more with him in. But those are
Those are
the
the ones
only
that come
two
to
movies
mind.
I've seen him in: is Jurassic Park and Thor Ragnarok.
I can probably come up with a list if I had
yeah,
the
you
time.
definitely could.
But we don't have the time because it's now 3 minutes past the hour.
Good
so
segue. That
I
was
guess
good.
we're wrapping up. Did you like that?
Yeah, that was good.
That's probably one of the
that was
best.
good.
That's probably one of the best like segues into closing I've done. I kind of suck at outros, so I was rather proud of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, this has been Father Time. My guests were Adam. Say goodbye, Adam.
Goodbye. I'm always here. I live with him.
You've actually been on every podcast episode. You just haven't talked except
Yeah,
for 2 of them.
Returning
I
guest.
walked in with that one with Archer. I walked in.
Well, yeah, and you can kind of hear a
you should
click
just-
because I paused
Yeah.
it for a
You
second.
should just if I just walk in, just Adam.
Adam, welcome.
sometimes
Sit
you
down."
wanna go
Where everybody knows.
And then I'll just come in and join y'all.
Honestly, from now on, that's what I'll do. And then my other guest was Marshall. Say goodbye, Marshall.
Adios.
Adios. Okay. Thank you all for listening. Love life.